Hey guys, in today's video, I will be reviewing the top 8 best handheld gaming consoles. I made this list based on my personal experience, and I try to rank them based on their quality, durability, customer reviews, and more. If you want to know about the best pricing and more information, you can check the description links below. Number 8 in my list is Ayaneo Pocket S handheld gaming console. This is one of the most premium handhelds I have ever had the pleasure of reviewing. This is called the Ayaneo Pocket Micro, a first attempt at creating an affordable retro handheld for Ayaneo, coming in at $219, $250, depending on which version you go for. This is jam-packed with a MediaTek Helio G99 CPU, up to 8 GB of RAM, a metal alloy shell, and a glass cover that makes it feel like it belongs in a museum. There's also Hall joysticks, a 3.5 IPS display that can play GBA games in 4X resolution, and Android 13 pre-installed ready to go out of the box. It's the same size as a typical smartphone, and it can fit in your pockets if they're deep. Because of the sheer power packed into this thing, it can emulate up to GameCube games and play most Android games that you throw at it. However, because it's a small 3.5 screen, some games looked cramped, so pick them wisely. It does emulate a handful of 2-pound games too, but it's not pleasurable to play on with this small screen. The magic is in the 32 and 64-bit consoles, especially Game Boy Advance. GBA games look stunning on here, and it's what I spend 80% of the time playing on here. Number 7 in my list is Ayaneo Air handheld gaming console. If you like the design of the Switch Lite but find Nintendo software a little restricting, the Ayaneo Air might be the one for you. With Hall effect joysticks, there are no concerns of that dreaded stick drift here, and there's an OLED screen and expandable storage to boot. For those with smaller hands, it's hands down one of the better options on our list of the best handheld gaming consoles. The Ayaneo Air does offer less power than other portable consoles on this list, which might occasionally limit the games you can play. The iOS operating system could also do with a bit of polish, while if you turn the TDP up, this little thing can get hot. However, if you want a tiny and powerful portable gaming console, we'd still recommend the Ayaneo too. And if you can stomach the price, this device doesn't have any competition in the ultra-small handheld PC market. Number 6 in my list is Backbone 1 USB-C gaming console. Dedicated consoles are the best way to play games, but if you need something lightweight and don't want to add another device to your bag, the Backbone 1 can turn any iPhone or Android phone into a Switch-like gaming device. The controller slides out so you can dock your phone into it. There are USB-C and Lightning versions of the Backbone, and it stays securely in place until you remove it. This controller doesn't have any batteries. All the controls are powered by the phone, and there's no pairing necessary, just dock and play. Like with the G Cloud, using your phone will allow you to access any games on the App Store or Google Play Store, all while taking up less space. If you're using an iOS phone though, cloud gaming is a bit trickier as you can't install an app for any of the cloud gaming services directly onto your device. Instead, you'll have to access and play the games through Safari. It works, but it's not as nice of an experience. Mobile gaming won't give you access to the same level of games as a true console, but there are plenty of games on iOS and Android that are just as good as some games you can find on Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation. The iOS gaming subreddit has some particularly thorough roundups if you need some guidance. You can also install an emulator on either platform to play the same games as on the Anbernic, though you'll have to find downloads of the games yourself. Number 5 in my list is Logitech G Cloud handheld gaming console. The realm of cloud streaming has a long way to go, but the Logitech G Cloud serves as a reliable way to access services like GeForce Now and Game Pass Ultimate. Its integrated controls and 1080p screen help win us over in spite of its inherent caveats, and there are benefits to ditching native hardware when gaming on the go. Armed with a Snapdragon 720G CPU, the Logitech G Cloud uses the power of streaming to bring games to its 1080p 60Hz display. It comes with all the usual bells and whistles you'd expect from a portable, namely Bluetooth 5.1, Wi-Fi, USB-C charging, and a microSD card slot, but there's not much else going on under the hood. That's to be expected given it's effectively just a tablet with rather nice buttons and thumbsticks attached, and that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to the experience at hand. At least from the front, you'd be forgiven for thinking the G Cloud was a fully fledged gaming handheld. While it's hard to deny its similarities to a tablet, its white and yellow aesthetic and array of buttons and thumbsticks really look the part, and the device feels just as nice in the hands. Each button is clicky and responsive, not to mention its 1080p touchscreen is bright and surprisingly vivid. Weighing in at just 463 grams, you'll also immediately notice a difference compared to hardy handhelds like the Steam Deck, with the lightness ultimately contributing to overall comfort. Number 4 in my list is Razer Edge Wi-Fi Gaming Tablet Plus Console. The Razer Edge won't be for everyone, but it certainly caters to mobile gaming fans looking for a more console-like experience. Thanks to its powerful Qualcomm Snapdragon G3X Gen 1 processor and included Kishi controller, this portable can run all the latest Android games and save you from wrestling with virtual on-screen controls. The Edge is effectively a small Android tablet that is made to fit its included Razer Kishi controller, meaning it feels more like a tailored way to play mobile games. Most of the device is dominated by an extra-wide 144Hz ALUM screen that's also a bit bigger than what most gaming phones can offer. As touched on above, the Edge is mostly screen, and rounded bezels help give it a unique, if not slightly obscure look. It's pretty lightweight compared to chunky handhelds like the Steam Deck, but almost feels like a smaller Switch in terms of size and weight. The Snapdragon G3X Gen 1 within the Edge makes short work of both Android games and emulated classics, with frame rates maxed out in each app we tried. Active cooling means there's a better chance of running demanding romps like Black Desert without scaling back settings, and Call of Duty Mobile happily runs at 120 Hz. If you're looking for higher spec experiences, apps like GeForce Now will provide cloud access to PC games, and connectivity is pretty robust over Wi-Fi compared to some smartphones. Number 3 in my list is RG Cube Retro Gaming Console. It's safe to say square screens aren't commonplace in 2024, but the Anbernic RG Cube makes full use of its weird aspect ratio. Not only does this handheld pair Steam Deck-like controls with a display that better fits Game Boy games, but the size means you can actually fit DS emulators on it for touchscreen games. To some, using the Anbernic RG Cube's square screen might feel like a gimmick, but there are plenty of reasons why 1:1 aspect ratios are fantastic for gaming. For starters, some retro classics were actually designed with square pixels in mind, so they'll technically look more correct than they would even on an old CRT. The other boon is that since the RG Cube is rocking a touchscreen, fitting Nintendo DS emulators on it is a lot easier. If you're tired of retro handhelds looking like Game Boy copycats, the RG Cube will no doubt please your eyeballs. As a horizontal handheld, it makes to maintain the ergonomic qualities of something much larger, all while avoiding letterboxing when playing many classic capers. You will have to contend with a tiny bit of unused space when playing 4 to 3 games on its 720 by 723.95-inch touchscreen, but it will look more authentic than on a 16:9 display. Number 2 in my list is RG35XX Plus Handheld Gaming Console. The RG35XX Plus may be a clone of the Mu Mini Plus, but what Anbernic has achieved here is remarkable. It looks the same, but is slightly longer and uses stronger tech on the inside. It's not going to rival the likes of the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro or the Steam Deck anytime soon, but if you want solid power in a Game Boy-style package, the RG35XX Plus is a worthy contender with an excellent budget price. If you want a shining example of how to do upgrades, the RG35XX Plus is where it's at. Gone is the quad-core ARM Cortex-A9 paired with the Power VR chipset and 256 megabytes of RAM found in the original model, and in its place comes the meteor platter of the H700 quad-core ARM Cortex-A53 paired to 1 gigabyte of RAM. This upgrade blows the original RG35XX out of the water when it comes to emulation. Instead of middling emulation you'll find in every budget device, up to and some PSP is now playable, all for just $64. Not much has changed from the original model, which itself was a clone of the Mu Mini Plus. What I will say is that Anbernic employs a if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. It looks like a Game Boy, albeit with an extra menu and X and Y face buttons. The triggers are still uncomfortable, as is the case with all vertical handhelds, but that's not the end of the world. The slight size increase over the Mu Mini Plus really helps with comfort too. Number 1 in my list is Nintendo Switch Gaming Console. Nintendo Switch Lite is our top pick for those who are shopping on a budget. Its smaller form factor is perfect for portable play, as it can be quickly shoved into a rucksack or even a large pocket when you're on the move. There are also a range of attractive bright colors to choose from, including blue, pink, purple, gray, and yellow. The design is constructed out of a thick plastic and, in our testing, proved more durable than the original Nintendo Switch model, which is ideal if you're prone to dropping or scratching your systems. I took a Nintendo Switch Lite with me to the office every day in a small case in my rucksack, and it looked practically good as new after about a year of ownership. Furthermore, the fact that the controllers are permanently attached to the system has the added benefit that they are impossible to lose while out and about. You're getting a slightly smaller screen here, but it runs at the same 720 pixel resolution as the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch OLED, so there is no performance or visual downgrade. If anything, I think that the smaller size can help the image look a little sharper, but most will likely not notice this. Alright guys, this was our today's video. If you find this video helpful for you, then like the video, and if you come to our channel first time, then hit the subscribe button for our amazing upcoming videos. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the updated price of all products discussed in this video. Hope you have a great day and see you soon in the next video.